globe.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and our non binary friends. And this is still the University Alliance Cup Season 3 featuring Wild Rift. The top collegiate teams are starting to gather right now in our second semifinals match. We already got How moving on to the finals. But now let's see. TUP Gearhawks, who against expectations won in the quarterfinals, or PUP, Pylon Cerberus Ultimate, an up and coming team, savage and aggressive like their namesake Cerberus. Let's see who's going to be getting that. And we'll be your shoutcast for that one. I'm Hyron. With me is Yuko.
Yeah, so we were talking about our game before we hopped into the live stream. Sa mga nanonood dyan, after watching this series, do not forget to watch it as well. So again, this tournament is powered by Globe and of course our official game gear, Student, and of course Logitech G. We saw a 2-0 kanina. Who knows, we might be seeing another 2-0 or baka this will be a closer matchup than what we expect. So for the lineups, I still will be expecting something similar, but for the bands, maybe you're gonna be seeing something new.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, if you're up against the Cerberus Ultimate squad here, there's two members that you really have to pay attention to. Of course, all of them are very powerful, right? But the
Mm-hmm.
ones that really break the game open against her enemies are aggressive and third. Like aggressive, she's true to her name, right? She constantly dives in. She's constantly this damaging presence against their enemies, and Thur's there to like free hitting all the time, while aggressive and Kuya Fall are going in, right? So here, in standard bands, Galio, the Camille band as well, and Nunu is actually a standout pick for aggressive. It's not usually what you'd expect from aggressive, but she has shown it to be one of her pocket picks na rin. So very understandable ban. Lulu being banned as well, leaving a lot of power picks open here.
Yeah, I guess ang ginagawa dito for the side of Gearhawks is just get as much power picks as they can given that they are on their side. But ang pansin ko naman dito, mga bans usually for Cerberus are the champions sa may isang global ultimate dito, Galio, and you have a champion that can isolate someone rather with Camille on the Hextech ultimatum. They also just banned out Braum very strong in the early game because the concussive blows can make a lot of good plays with one ultimate, which is the Glacial Fissure. And Gearhawks answer that with someone that has another global ultimate and a gold card to beat. So wala muna tayong magician sa ating Rift even in the last series.
So for this one, okay, the Lee Sin, of course, that's an aggressive signature. If it's not the Lee Sin, it's the Kazakhs. And the Nunu was banned, so I think Gearhawks is fears the Nunu more. They would rather face the Lee Sin and Kazakhs than the aggressive Nunu. With a 1-2 punch, they're going to be locking in Ziggs Nami. Very, very solid. That's a very, that's a
Very good.
very, what do you say? How do you say it? That's a very TUP Dragon Lane here if they do
Mm.
bring it. Of course, Appa Ama can also bring that Ziggs out as well. But Kuya Fall, will he be getting this Garen for themselves?
Most likely. I mean, paano siya eh, parang ikaw yung tigak salo ng damage ko, yung frontliner, whereas Lee Sin, na-imagine ko din kasi na the Lee Sin as the jungle, he can just constantly visit the Baron lane, get those sonic wave, get those kicks, tapos silence si Garen. Plus, the ultimate, so wala silang magagawa. They will be able to secure that kill. A hover and lock in on Lucian. Long range ultimate, check. So, initiators and tigas na ng damage, check. Let's see kung ano naman ang isasagot dito ng Gearhawks. A possible Darius for the Baron lane.
Darius dito. So classic, kung kanina romance na mid lane tayo, Garen versus Katarina. Now it's gonna be a full-on rivalry here with
Mm-hmm.
between the Garen and the Darius come in hot. This Lucian, um, if it was aggressive in the mid lane, I would say okay, this Lucian's going mid. But since aggressive is of course going into the jungle, this is most likely just gonna go to Thair, right? And once again, it's that dynamic duo where Kuya Fall, no, sorry, aggressive goes in. She gets all that damage out is after snowballing with the Lee Sin, and then Thair picks up the alley oop with all the damage that Lucian can bring in that short range.
There will be a ban dito, Kating Vi. Sadly, we will not be seeing any Jinx ban or pickup. Mostly Vi ang nakikita natin sa ating meta. And the last ban for the side of Gearhawks will be a Diana. They do not want someone, anyone, na kayang mag-suck in, their team together and then give an opening for Lucian with the calling. So with the last rotation of bans already locked in, Wukong last ban dito for the side of Cerberus Ultimate, it looks like it's time to see sino ba ang jungler or mid laner ng ating Gearhawks. That will be a Z mid lane, APC, just
Ooh.
as Hiron said for the Dragon lane.
So this is turning out to be quite not really an interesting draft in the sense that it's unique. It's definitely a pretty unsurprising draft from both sides here. But I'm trying to look for the win conditions here for TUP because they have pretty powerful picks on their own, like Zed and the Ziggs. But I'm not finding that magic glue that makes this team function together, aside from just being a full-on beat stick, right? But meanwhile, with the addition of Jace here in the hands of okay, so this could be a flex here for the Jace and the Garen, depending on how it all goes. But definitely, okay, Fizz. That's a little bit more subdued for Synthencia, with a TF and Diana being banned, and the Lulu.
Olaf? I mean,
The
that's
jungler here for Bitter End, with the
there's
Vi
a
being banned, mahirap eh. Ano bang pwedeng
yeah.
gawin dito ni Bitter End? Standard lang siguro eh, na
For
Jax.
Jax
Oh.
works as well. At the very least, meron kang assurance for
Mhm.
late game. But yeah, Lee Sin versus Jax. Lee Sin, si aggressive will most likely be the one on top. Siya yung mas makakapag-rotate. Siya yung mas magwawala dito. But yeah, I mean, yeah, aggressive will be the one on the mid lane rather. Jaken will be the one
Oh,
on that Lee Sin. Surprise, surprise.
okay. So biglang nag-swapperoni sina ate girl. So here, okay. So Fizz, okay, Draken on this Leeson. Let me change my notes here because I already noted the Leeson as aggressive pick for the playoffs. But in the end, it's still the same. It's still the same game plan where Draken goes in, sets up the aggressive in third. This is a very high pick potential comp here, just with the Fizz, just with the Lucian and the Rakan, right? So they do have potential to team fight, but it really needs a lot more setup. Meanwhile, for Gearhawks, it's not a very complicated team comp, right? It doesn't have a very clear direction because
Mhm.
it's not standard. It's so basic in the sense that you what you need to do is just leverage the raw power of your picks, the Darius, the
Mhm.
Jax, the Zed, and the Ziggs.
Yes, go by the book. And while you arrange your notes there, I guess yung isang concern ko lang is for the red team there, again, their draft makes sense. They can pull it off. But for me, it just is a tad bit too greedy. Parang they're gonna fight over who gets which resources. Are they gonna let Darius snowball first? Are they gonna give it to Zed? Most likely kay Zed. And you still have a Ziggs and a Jax that requires some gold and more kills and resources as well. They just have to play this one out aggressively, like right there. Early game, just try to assert your dominance. That will be the decimate coming through for the side of TUP, but they were not able to get any pick off just yet.
And I mean, wala namang palag si Viz level 1, right? And actually, the Nuno ban makes a lot more sense to me now. Sorry, mali
Mm-hmm.
yung sinabi ko kanina. The Nuno is actually a Draken pick, not an aggressive pick, right? So, um, that actually makes more sense. Now that the aggressive is actually mid, this means that UP Gearhawks was okay. This is Draken going jungle, so that Nuno is his like thing. Nuno is his thing, so let's ban it here and force him on the Lee Sin. So a little bit of a mix-up on my notes end there. But just to confirm, yeah, aggressive on this Fizz. Not level 3 yet, no? So medyo mahirap ang kanyang... Oh, the counter-strike ended before the flash happened there. So that's going to be a missed opportunity for Apa Ama and Bitter End right there.
And small silences here and there. I mean, Fizz's power spike, or at least yung level spike niya, is at level 5. And I like how Zed as well as Jax is trying their best to take a kill before that. Pero mukhang si
Flash.
Aggressive being very aggressive, staying true to her IGN, was able to push Apa Ama back.
And really, when you're up against a Zed, you can't show weakness in the sense that if you turn your back to the Zed, he is going to fully commit, like into a Shadow Shuriken or a Shadow Slash, and get the kill. You have to force Apa Ama into a situation where he has to make a decision. If I stay here, aggressive's gonna Nene on me, right? So, so very good call there to force the damage against that Zed here. Meanwhile, Kuya Fall. This is just a 50-50 matchup actually. Really gonna depend on how the junglers influence this. But a lot of the focus will be on fair and aggressive here for PUP. And PUP Gearhawks, they want Apa Ama to snowball hard on this Zed.
So waiting for that level 5 to see
There we go.
how aggressive will be able to just throw that fish. Sakto, may Nami yung kabila. Mali mo, di ba, lalo mabuhay dito si aggressive. But at the Baron lane time, that will be the Decimate and the Judgment coming through. And again, 50-50. Usual love pokes here and there. But the actual fight is at the mid lane and the Dragon lane. Kasi yung dalawang Baron laners natin, parang nagpapaano lang yan, nagpapa-level lang.
Magro-roam
And
na yan. Piniping na nga ng TUP na umalis na si Messi.
it's time.
It's time, but here comes the Chum the Water. That's a lot of burst damage, but aggressive is going to be able to get those iframes in her favor, but going to get heavily punished as double kill goes to Messick. A little bit overzealous, over-aggressive coming in from TUP Cerberus Ultimate. They smelled blood, but it was not actually from TUP. It was their own, and that's easy 2 kills here for Messick. Very well played.
I believe both of them knew na walang flash, the aggressive, and si Kuya Fall. That's why, and on top of that, they were under turret. So that's a flash in. That is the apprehend. Tumalon din dito sa likod, bitter end, and that was a very good double kill for the side of Gearhawks. Best way to start game number 1.
Yeah, mahirap talaga yun eh. Kasi you have to, okay, there's no point there where aggressive should have taken damage from Messick on the first part of that. Kasi ano eh, you have to be able to playful trickster the apprehend, because the apprehend is what's going to damage, bring out the real damage, because then you'll be in position, you're forced into a position where you're getting auto attack, you're getting slowed by the crippling strike as well. So there, let's see if Messick can make good use of this lead. Look, mukhang nire-respeto naman ni Kuya Fall yung 2 double kill dito ni Messick. That's like 700 gold in his pocket. That's like worth 2 long swords, which is enough combat stats to bridge the gap that Kuya Fall cannot just face tank against Messick.
Diba? Parang naghihintay si Dragon dito Sonic Wave to the Dragon maybe now. The other part that will...
They can actually try and secure this, but it is gonna get stolen without the Mega Inferno Bomb. But now TUP, the formation has been broken, but here comes Kuya Fall. Can he get some revenge kills for his team here? Bitter End's gonna have to leap strike away. Aggressive still looking for it. No more, but she does get the playful friction kill onto Bitter End there. But under the tower, you do not want to dive this 2-0 Darius under tower, who still has Noxian Guillotine. I think they're gonna be satisfied with stealing the Drake plus getting 2 kills.
And the replay here, now pagka-jump into the aggressive, was able to get Zed, and Zed also does not have death mark, so it was a free kill for their side. Tumalon din dito si aggressive, gets that double kill. That was the jungler. So Gearhawks had no other choice but to step back. They have no other way of re-engaging, and they have no initiator in those last few moments, and it just gave more breathing space for Cerberus Ultimate. So 5 minutes in naman ngayon, Rift Herald is already up. Mukhang yun naman ang minamata ngayon ng PUP.
Susunod na venue ng Bardagolan dito sa
Right?
Wild Rift natin dito. That's gonna be the Rift Herald, but it does seem like TUP Gearhawks is not in a position to contest it. So medyo magiging delayed yung Bardagolan dito if ever. Gonna jump in, Bitter End misses the counter-strike as well, and this is gonna be a handshake. A few taps on the shoulders here and there and backing off. I think the next target will be this top lane turret. Because they have the Rift Herald, they can go immediately summon it there. There's actually holding off Apa Ama in the bot lane. With a recall happening for the Zed though, might be the signal for him to go, but he's gonna be tidal wave under turret as well. Chum the Waters will not be getting on anyone. Mega Inferno Bomb is gonna catch Kuya Fall with almost maximum damage. One more hit though, aggressive has to flash away, but she goes back in for like a shark, smelling blood in the water. She's like, I'm just gonna kick up the kill here against Messick, and this is gonna end up as a 2-for-2. So good awareness there. Aggressive, okay, I'm not getting out of here, so let's just try and go for the kill, right? So that ends up being a 2-for-2, almost taking down the turret instead of a 2-for-1.
And it looks like Rakan will still try his best na i-defend to. So let's take a step back, see what happened there. Tidal Wave at the right time. Sadly, yung sinave na ultimate dito na aggressive, hindi pa tumama. Good Mega Inferno Bomb. That is actually the reason why Gearhawks was very aggressive this time around. And kaya ang sabi mo, aggressive knew she was gonna die either way, so might as well take someone down with Nika. So yung someone na yon, naging dalawa. So 2 for 1, but there was another kill right after her death, and that is the reason bakit meron tayong 2 for 2. Still pretty even, but when it comes to the gold, you have the lead sa side ng PUP.
Alam ko na yung ginawa ni Aggressive. Hinintay niya lumabas yung Decimate. Tapos pag nakita na niya yung Decimate, dun papasok siya. Kasi di ba, yung outer rim ng Decimate yung totoong damage. No?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yun talagang, very, very aware. Very aware coming in from PUP Cerberus Ultimate. They're fighting for inches here, right? Right now, PUP Cerberus Ultimate has a couple more inches of territory by taking that top Baron lane turret. But it's really a battle of who can eke out value from small plays like that. And right now, PUP Ultimate seems to be going aggressive here onto Messick, gets the knockup as well. And that's going to be a dead Darius. No chance to stack up hemorrhages, no chance to recover from decimates. And they're looking on to Bitter End this time, maybe under threat. Piercing Light not going to come through, forces out the Tidal Wave. And they're looking at this turret. They're not really... Okay, Bitter End and Collagen, if they stick around here, they're going to be chumming the waters here. But it is going to be the Shark missing, going wide, but Bracken disengages from the turret. They're tanking a little few turret shots for his team there. Mega Inferno Bomb to try and clear the wave and push them out of their territory, but Turret still going to get taken. Deathmark onto Aggressive. Look at that damage from Playful Trickster, but a Deathmark pops. And that is going to be a dead Fizz. Sleeping with the fishes right now, but PUP got what they wanted into a 5k gold lead. They got the towers, they got the kills, they're happy, and they're setting up now for the Infernal Drake.
Turtle did ang leads, also have the gold lead. At mukhang gusto pang kunin dito ang Infernal Dragon and the PUP. They have everything that they want, and they kept on winning these small skirmishes. Those inches, magiging kilometer or mile yan as the game goes by. And it looks like PUP, they are still gonna try to pick up this dragon. Pero subukan muna nila mag-die because they're trying to gather as much vision. Pakiramdaman muna sa ating map. Ziggs is lurking inside the Mega Inferno Bomb is available, as well as the Noxian from... Yeah, they're gonna be the first one to push it.
And this is going to be Chum the Waters here, perfect on the Nami here, flashes over, lots of damage, finishes her off before a Tidal Wave could be brought out here, and that is going to be a lot of damage. Kuyafall coming in with the spins, and the Aggressive still swimming through these fights here. Leap Strike dodges the Counter Strike with the Playful Trickster, and Fair with a drive-by, with a culling. Can he take down this Zed Apa on the run here? He still has Deathmark, he's not going to pop it, instead opts to escape on the last shadow that he put down. But in the end, that's gonna be a Drake taken. Not yet taken, but a good team fight turn there by PUP Cerberus Ultimate.
Yep, and let's review that. So there is a knock-up, na-cancel dito ng Sato Charge. There was the Judgment being popped. And again, walang Tidal Wave because Nami ang unang nawala dito. There were flashes that has been used and predicted. Na-predict yun ni Aggressive. There was the triple kill already at Killing Spree. Nahanap si Zed actually. Aggressive, very, very low. So pwedeng bigyan na lang shadow dito ni Apa-ama. But apparently, the calling ginamit ni Third just to zone out the ninja. And that's why nabuhay pa rin si Aggressive kanina.
Here, PUP, now they're posturing for this Infernal Drake. TUP rather. Oh, that's a nice Chum the Waters. Basically denies that entire choke point from PUP, which should ensure PUP getting this Infernal Drake. Upper hand is gonna miss from Messick. Naghahanap siya ng Decimate target. Deathmark onto Aggressive. Pero nandito rin si Kuyafall para ma-silence ang Zed. Has to get out of there. Kahit ilang shadow pa yan, kahit buong tropa mo ang dalin mo dito, you cannot catch this slippery fish. An Aggressive clearing the wave. Rift Herald is the next on the chopping block. Remember, PUP still has a few of their big ultimates here. The quickness and, of course, the Garen ulti. Let's see if Gearhawks can actually fight back. They don't. Okay, they do pick up the Rift Herald. PUP chooses to give that up, and they're actually going for the mid lane turret. Turret for Rift Herald, and another turret here. PUP's going to go for top, but mid is the next target for PUP, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to respond in time to get this, even with the Mega Inferno Bomb.
They did get Rift Herald, kaso dalawang mid lane turrets na nawala dito, and I think they can try and get a Baron lane turret. Kaso, Cerberus Ultimate is making their way up at the Baron. I think madedefend yan ni Kuyafall. But yeah, Gearhawks was definitely the team that was able to utilize yung kanilang rotation and their shifting pero makamit lawan at least sa ating mid lane.
Finds the stasis right there, and she is able to get another kill onto Collagen. Hinahabol na ngayon si Ushi. Look at the burst damage. In comes a stasis to dodge the counter-strike once again. Tumatalon, sumasayaw lang dito ang Fizz. Able to get taken down though, but so much delaying tactics allows the rest of the UP Cerberus ultimate to clean up this fight. Even with those max hemorrhage stacks, is not enough to get this snowball going for Messick.
Not enough. That will be another wave na nakuha ng Cerberus ultimate with the death timer. Sadly, they can't.
Panalo na eh, but they're able to dodge out of that. Look at those shields, able to keep you alive for a little bit longer. But with Draken and they're down, I think Ezio, nice flash. Maximize yung distance. He's using yung trick na if you flash into the middle of a terrain na mas malaki sa flash mo, you're gonna go over it.
I think that's twice yung range ng flash or one and a half.
Much.
But I think that's kind of broken, honestly. But yeah, Ezio was able to survive that one. 23 seconds.
It's not a bug, it's a glitch.
Yeah, it's just players, maximizing the map.
No.
Maximize dito ng Gearhawks ang pagkalayo ni aggressive sa teammates niya. That was a big blunder. That was a very good pick-off, and now we have a 4v5 team fight in the next few seconds.
Okay, so PUP can still actually leverage against the Baron here, kahit 5v4 siya, because they have presence in mid. If PUP Gearhawks tries to go for this Baron, they have minion waves going onto mid here. They just need to delay this fight as long as possible hanggang makabalik si aggressive from her respawn timer. In comes Kuya Fall here, relatively tanky, jumps over this tidal wave, and of course the Mega Inferno Bomb is gonna be crucial. A little bit of chip damage, but it's gonna get healed up by Ezio. So TUP, they're not able to get the Baron. PUP is able to threaten them long enough that they call off the Baron, and now PUP with aggressive back in the fold, that means that they can actually dance around this Baron back and contest this territory against the Gearhawks.
Now aggressive is up. It's time to re-engage for Cerberus ultimate, and Gearhawks, they can still turn things around, honestly. So magandang team fight lang, isang good death mark lang, maybe even the counter Sagditos for the side of Bitter End. And it seems kumukuha muna ng vision from the Baron side before they go in with the resets, and Gearhawks, they're just near their side of the map. Pero kasi Meralco yung side ng Baron Pit for the side of Gearhawks. They have very good vision. They just need to push the waves in sa ating mid lane, and then they're good to go para mag...
Yeah, silver lining dito is hindi na sila yung inhib ng PUP. So they can actually that's not gonna be naturally pushing against them. For example, kung namatay yung inhibitor doon, PUP would have a little bit of breathing room mid lane, just that will naturally push in their favor. With a Drake coming up, that's the next stage of the fight and not the Baron, because this is gonna be a third Drake stack here for PUP. If they get this, it's gonna let them fight back against PUP's burst damage as well. Can he go for the steal here? No, he's gonna get secured by PUP, and now Dragon stasis to give himself a little bit more time. Flashes over, Deathmark is gonna come through. Ama chasing down that Lee Sin, but here in the fight, the rest of it has been cleaned up by PUP. Ama comes back in. Can he be the cleanup for his own team though? Shadow over. But that's gonna be fair, picking up a triple, gunning down the members of TUP, and Ama, like a real edgy ninja, siya lang natira sa pamilya niya, parang Uchiha lang. And in this mid lane, that is going to be an inhib finally taken down, which means they have this mid lane pressure mounting against TUP Gearhawks.
I love the anime reference before your play-by-play ended there. The Mega Inferno Bomb already being popped, and I was looking aggressive. Tinarget niya, imbes na si Nami, already has her eyes fixated dito kay Oshiro on this Ziggs. Of course, all the bombs and everything. So, Apa-ama, na-eyes to the side, and with that, sabi ng Cerberus kanina, okay, looks like aggressive was able to get the kills. We were able to push them back, and with the mid lane 3 or 4 hits away from saying goodbye, might as well give that a go instead of forcing a team fight. And with that, meron na pong butas sa mid lane ng ating Gearhawks. You are right, it just gives more pressure for the side of Gearhawks rather. More advantage for Cerberus. You have a 4 kill advantage on their side and a roughly 5 or 6k gold lead in favor of Cerberus. And while I was talking, si Rakan tamang tanggal lang muna ng wards at the Baron side, trying to deny as much vision as he can for Gearhawks. And now Gearhawks, I believe, even though they try their best to pull the trigger first, it feels as if they're just dancing towards the music na pinlay ng Cerberus ultimate dito.
Yeah, and I think this is largely in part of the stasis and chance that PUP Service Ultimate picked up, right? Draken there, and of course si Aggressive, madaming delaying tactics na pwedeng gawin. So during the time, for example, na gusto mag-burst ni Apa-ama, gusto mag-DPS ni Bitter End, or yung Mega Inferno Bomb ni Ushiro, they can actually just stasis through it. Like in yung fight kanina sa Drake Pit, usually we consider na marksman like that na nandun sa likod ng Drake Pit ay cornered na yun. Pero dahil may stasis siya, bingchilin lang siya dun, konting stasis lang, and going back to DPS na after mag-counter-strike ni Bitter End. So, this is, I'm actually liking the mechanics here from TUP Service Ultimate, maximizing their damage uptime and minimizing that of TUP. So, liking it. They have mounting pressure mid lane, they have a split push going down, malaking wave yan sa bot lane, kailangan mag-responde dyan si Apa-ama. Let's see how PUP Service Ultimate responds to this movement here by Apa-ama. Mukhang papasukin nila. Deathmark is gonna get popped here. Aggressive goes for the stasis. Will she be able to flash over? Yes, flashes over. The playful trickster also against the Shadow Slash, against the Decimate, against the Apprehend. And from the side, nagda-drive-by dito si Thair but not gonna be able to get the kill. But forcing a recall means that they could take this turret if Collagen is not careful. Nice Mega Inferno Bomb to try and clear the wave, which means Cerberus Ultimate is pushed back from this push.
May heal pa si Rakan doon and was able to pop it, kaya medyo nagtagal pa si Aggressive in that lane. It looks like kung 2v2 walang mangyayari, iwan natin si Garen sa baba. And remember, this is space created kay Thair. This Lucian already hurts a lot. He is sitting at a level 14. We will check the items in a bit, but I believe mapapaaray na din ang mga members ng Gearhawks with his itemization. I've been looking at Aggressive all throughout the game, but I guess it's time to look at the ADC kasi it's his time to shine. Yep.
Dynamic duo yan. When there's PUP Service Ultimate, if there's Thair and Aggressive, kung jungle man si Aggressive, kung mid lane man siya, these are the two damage threats you have to look at that. Kaya niyang i-duel yung Zed kasi yung lahat ng iframes ng ng Fizz ay kayang yun, and that's gonna be the chum the waters here, perfect against the stasis, and oh my lord, and that is going to be a lot of damage coming through. Mukhang gustong i-salvage dito ni Mesek, pero that's going to be the squad of PUP going for the full-on dive. He's not gonna be able to get that guillotine off. And I think with 40 seconds on the death timers, with the mid lane inhib taken down, PUP Cerberus Ultimate, oh, they're styling on it. They're BMing with the recalls.
Whoa.
Actually, hinihintay lang nila yung wave. Hinihintay lang talaga nila yung wave. But
Kaya ganun.
it's gonna be PUP Cerberus Ultimate getting game 1 here against TUP Gearhawks.
With smiles on their faces, they get the lead sa ating last series. And yeah, that was such a by-the-book play. They get all of the lead of the burst that they can, and even though Gearhawks tried to answer, there were times, I believe, if we get to see the graph, which I don't think we will, but there were times that the graph is in favor of the red. But then again, when it comes to the macro fights, Cerberus really was on top, and in that last fight, again, napakaganda ultimate from Aggressive, and if ever someone did try to jump up or escape, ang nakasarado doon na ang nagbabantay rather sa side na yon will be Thur on Delusion na may calling, may pang slow, napakasakit na auto attack, and it was just a lot of problems for Gearhawks to deal with.
Lakas din nung damage ng Fizz with the items built up. Kaya niyang i-1v1 with a Great One yung Zed, just because of the iframes dodging the crucial burst damage of the Zed there. And of course, all the while, every single member of PUP fulfilled their roles there. Like si Ezio, of course, ang daming times na mamamatay dapat si Thair or si Aggressive, and of course, he's there to rescue them. Lahat na binato, lahat na binigay, yung heal ng Q, yung knock-up para iaalay niya sarili niya para mabuhay yung mga kaibigan niya. And here, Draken, of course, it's a different style from Aggressive na Lee Sin, but it's definitely fits with the puzzle of PUP's comp right here. And of course, Kuya Fall just being that damage threat to frontline, very, very beefy. Meanwhile, TUP, like I said, the problem with this comp is that it's relying a lot on raw power. Wala
Mm-hmm.
siyang clear synergies eh. Like, of course, makikita mo naman yung game plan, right? Like, Ziggs, magpo-poke from the back. Sa harap
Mm-hmm.
naman, yung Jax tsaka yung Darius makipagsapakan. Um, yung Nami is there to be utility, to be a flexible utility.
Same,
And
yeah.
Zed is going for the backline. But it's not ano eh. It's just it's very, like I said, it's a very basic comp that relies on raw power instead of executing a specific game plan.
I think it was a one-dimensional lineup. It was supposed to work, but yeah, they were just not able to go in with the full-on 5v5 team fights, and with that, Cerberus was able to win game number one. I would still love to see a Z and a Jax though for game two, baga parang take two or round two. But this time around, I will be looking forward sa magiging changes sila on the draft. Maybe they're gonna be picking up a slightly more skirmish or pick-off oriented lineup, or will they match the tempo and the aggression ng Cerberus dito and just, get their challenge, pick up the challenge, and go on full 5v5?
Yeah, and it's also hard to draft against PUP since you have to adjust so much. Like for example, 'di ba, syempre magko-communicate yung marshals tsaka yung players. Anong sides,
Behind the
anong
scene.
roles, like anong roles, anong sides. Tapos makita na si aggressive mid lane. So ganito dapat draft natin. Ay hindi, si Drake naman yung jungle o si aggressive naman naging jungle. So ito na yung draft natin. Tapos biglang okay si Drake yung jungle. So minsan and they also have like minsan si Sintensya na hindi natin nakita dito
Mm-hmm.
na magmi-mid lane si Sintensya. You have to account for like what, six, seven different players for six different players for Service Ultimate when you're planning your draft. So it's very very difficult. But at least dito stick through sila. So aggressive sa mid, Draken sa jungle. So same lang, di natin makita dito si Kid or si Sintensya, no? So blue side Gearhawk, Cerberus Ultimate on red. So magkaiba, they're still respecting yung Nunu ni Draken. Let's see how the rest of the draft plays out.
Another Camille ban. Maybe we could be seeing a Ziggs ban. Fiora will also be banned out. Listen, I'm not so sure if ibaban yun ng Gearhawks because maybe they could just pick
I
it
don't
up
think
for
it's bannable.
themselves.
Oh, pwede
Same
rin
pa
naman
rin
first.
yung liliban. Mm-hmm.
Pero out of there, pwede rin Ziggs ulit yung first pick nila kung if it's left
Yeah.
open here or TF din pwede kay kay Apa pero mukhang baka hindi niya style yun. Baka hindi niya style yung TF eh. So, tignan na lang natin dito. Galio banned out. Baka yung play dito na Cerberus Ultimate, okay, hindi style ni Apa Ama mag-TF. Iba
Mm-hmm.
natin yung Galio. Tignan natin kung iba pa nila yung TF. Oh, no, that's a Sintensha thing. Like, see, even I'm getting mixed up. Like, okay, it's aggressive mid lane. So, it's most like, wait, no. Aggressive also plays the TF. So, okay, so they're just gonna ban it out. So, all that thinking, all that mind games I was doing with myself is like wasted because the TF already
Flies out
got
the
banned,
window.
right? It flies out the window because both Sintensha and Aggressive play the TF. Mhm.
Now let's see sino yung magiging third ban for the side of Cerberus. Brom still. Okay,
From
so
lagi.
I
From
basically
lagi.
ayaw nila ng ano ng tiga
Counter
shield,
engage.
tiga
Oh.
initiated and counter engage, and Fiora is open, Riven is open, DC is also open. Let's see anong kukunin dito for the side of Gearhawks, and whoever they pick, I believe the other two or the other thing na mention ko kanina, yun ang kukunin ng Cerberus because that's a lot of power picks na open and up for grabs for their side.
And to be fair kay kay Lodi Mesek, 5 beses
Mm-hmm.
na laban yung kanyang Camille display offs.
Yes.
So, or yeah, so alam natin na talagang respeto ng mga collegiate players natin yung. So, if it ever gets unleashed, yung Camille dito na Mesek, it's gonna be really painful. So, here Riven versus Garen matchup could potentially go to Bitter End, pero once again, baka hindi style ni Bitter End yung Riven jungle dito. So, Garen, Lee Sin, good 1-2 punch. Vi gonna be locking here for Bitter End, confirming the Riven on Mesek. Very good. Vi has been very consistent here for Bitter End.
Yeah, and Vi was banned kanina, so that was
Mm-hmm.
sad Yuko noises.
Mm-hmm.
But now he'll be able to get his hands on that. Nami ang kinuha dito, so you already have Tidal Wave, you have Steam. We could possibly be seeing a Lucian. Ezreal, or even a Varus kung gusto nila. Basta someone that Nami can support and has a lot of poke, has a lot of damage. But speaking of support, mukhang Rakan ang hinahover dito will still go over to Ezio. I mean, why Fix was not broken, di ba? He was very good on that support role. And you also have a Baron laner that is very tanky. Meron ka ding jungler that has the mobility and the power for the early game. So they're just sticking to what works for them.
So far, and this is just very, very solid. Of course, the dynamic is gonna be very different in going into Drake and going to Baron, no? Because even with the same draft
Nice.
on your side, if you're on red side, iba yung dynamic ng pag-take mo ng Dragon. Eh. Ikaw yung may advantage. Kunwari, sinimulan ng Gearhawks, blue side sila yung Drake. Sila,
Mm-hmm.
yung Cerberus yung may advantage doon kasi, of course, the Drake's back is open. Or rather, yung backs ng Gearhawks ay open when they're taking the Drake to Cerberus ultimate. But of course, Vi, Nami, Riven, this is a very solid all-in comp once again. And they have a very good way to disengage when they need to with a tidal wave as well. So hintayin na lang natin yung magiging marksman or magiging dragon laner tsaka mid laner dito ng Gearhawks.
Ari's open.
Okay, let's
Um,
oh,
Zix is open as
should
well. Corki tinanggal nila. Mid laner tinanggal din dito for the side of
yeah, na
Gearhawk.
Corki.
So we just need the marksman and yeah, the mid lane that is up
Very
for grabs. And
consistent.
yeah,
This is
I
the
actually
same
like the binan
bans.
din ng ano
I think
ng
this is yeah.
yes, go on. You
Yeah,
got
go
this,
ahead.
Hyron.
No, no, no. Yeah, it's basically the same bands at Gearhawk, so they're maintaining your respect nila for those picks. But yeah, you were
Mhm.
saying.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Mhm.
Analyst lang naman ako. But I actually like how
Mhm.
Cerberus picked up yung, or rather banned out yung Lucian because Nami Lucian is a very suppressive combo as I would like to say. Especially na may Vayne and Drakan pala sila on their side. So early game, I would have to give it to Lucian Nami. What's the best way to deal with a Lucian Nami? Just ban out Lucian. And maybe you're gonna be seeing a Ezreal maybe or Kaisa. I
Ezreal's
mean, we
banned
haven't
eh.
been seeing Kaisa most like. Oh yeah, Israel is
Kakaban
banned.
lang nila eh. Pwede rin naman dito for Ushiro ay
Varus
Varus.
in.
Ginamit niya twice dito so far sa playoffs with Ezreal being banned, and I don't think gugustuhin nila mag-Kaisa dito. Kasi yung problema kay Kaisa is a similar problem to the Lucian, where if Kaisa's in range, pag hindi pa niya evolve yung E niya, yung
Mm-hmm.
supercharge niya,
She did.
if she's in range to shoot, she's in range to be jumped on by Ezio, by aggressive, or even Draken, right? So it's for now. I think they're playing it a little bit safe here. They already have a very good all-in with Vi, Riven, Gragas. So yung backline na lang nila si Ushiro tsaka si Collagen on this Nami. So they have a lot of utility. They have two ways to disengage from the all-in of PUP Cerberus Ultimate, and the Ari pickup here from aggressive here is gonna come through. So once again, this is a comp that wants to win early but has late game insurance.
I'm actually a bit worried for Apa
Mm-hmm.
Ama here. Greg is a very strong champion, but he's melee. And kailangan niyang lumapit
Mm-hmm.
sa kalaban niya. And that's something that Ari wants. Actually, sobrang gusto nga niya lumalapit yung kalaban niya. May charm siya. So, when you do get charmed, mayroon pang orb right after, you will just have to withstand yung kailangan, yung damage na kayang ilabas dito ni Ari. So, I believe Apa Ama will have a hybrid itemization damage plus sustain as well kasi siya din yung magfa-frontline dito aside from the Vi maybe. Even kasi at some point she will just focus on getting some damage in. But I love the adjustments that Gearhawks did do. But mukhang mas sound pa rin ang draft dito ng mga katapat nila. For Cerberus rather.
I do like the even with. I mean, Gragas, he does have that weakness, but he does have the sustain and the innate. I wouldn't say yeah, that tankiness when he's drunk, right? When he's drinking that
Mhm.
swill, he is able
When
to
he's
tank a little bit
drunk.
of damage, right? Yeah. So once again, because this Gragas is in the mid lane, I would think that it would skew towards like the grenade Gragas that we
Mhm.
usually see when it's mid, where the role is to jump in, explode, and anything that happens after that, hindi mo na yung trabaho. Kung nabuhay ka pa doon,
Mhm.
edi yung
You're good.
trabaho mo na lang is to body slam, right? Yun yung
Mhm.
trabaho mo. If you survive the initial burst. But if you don't, you've done your job. You've split up their formation. You've dealt massive damage first. Aggressive though, agad-agad. Pinapatay nila dito. But this could end up as a 1-for-1.
Oh, that was too close for comfort. I mean, aggressive did not use yung flash. Oh yeah, it was.
Ignite
No, no,
yung
no, yeah.
nagamit dito. Yung flash na
Yeah.
nagamit, Beater in. So,
Yep.
first Blood going to TP Gearbox. That's
Yes.
actually pretty good. And a lot of it's concentrated on Apa Ama, which means ma-accelerate yung kanyang burst game
Oh
plan.
no. Walang ignite, so that's silver lining for Apa-Ama. But yeah, masakit ang orb in the early game, so I don't think we should be
Kumaganti
going
agad?
anywhere near Ari. Galit na galit sila. Na
Oo.
first blood yung mid laner namin. We try to get the kill on your ADC.
Pero that trade is actually favorable, I think, to Collagen and Ushiro. May honey fruit naman. And it's a lot harder to recover damage that's split up kung pareho kayong sukatan dito kasi I'm trying to go for a bulk breaker here. Thayer flashing over with a battle dance to save him as well. Forces the flash from Thayer. Wala na rin siyang exhaust. So heal na lang yung defensive option dito ni na Ezio tsaka ni Thayer dito sa bot lane.
Looks like at the barreling side, medyo may slight advantage si Mizek dito on the Riven being able to just go very aggressive against this Garen even though there will be the silence, there will be the judgment, makakapag-jump in and makakapag-stun naman siya and hopefully that will be enough to scare Kuya Fall
Kraken
for
though,
a bit.
taking a lot of damage. Smite just to get that little bit of regen, but in comes Bitter End, trying to get knocked up here. That's the charm as well to finish him off. Collagen now cornered. Wala siyang, oh, he does have the flash here, but he could get chased down. Aggressive, true to her name, does go in for the kill as well with the flash. So nag-pay off yung hindi nag-flash si aggressive nung nag-gank siya sa level 1. So here, PUP actually leveraging an advantage.
Yep. I know all things are worth it in the end. Aggressive now sitting at level 4 and they would want to get the next small objective which is the Rift Scuttler while si aggressive stand guard. Tingnan muna kung may sisilip sa pag-take ng Cutler dito for Jiken but Vi will not try to contest as she does not want to risk getting hit by that charm. And in the early game, 1k gold lead in favor of Cerberus and tahimik na lang muna uli ang mapa. Lee Sin will just get his buff quietly and as you can see, wards placement dito ng Cerberus, they want to light up this river.
I think next fight is most likely just going to be next to the Drake here once it spawns. And right now, where should PUP Cerberus ultimate play around? It's going to be aggressive. It's just that since right now Fair, he is behind in gold, pero okay lang yan eh. Parang if you remove yung tier of the goddess dito ni Ushiro, parang even lang sila ni Fair eh. Wala namang combat stats yung tier. So at that point, it's relatively even. They have to play around aggressive. I was gonna say na medyo feels bad na Lost Chapter tsaka Blasting 1 pa lang. But now that Ludens has been completed,
Yep.
this should be a very good power spike for this Ari.
It's go time for this Ari indeed and tignan mo yung mid lane, medyo lumalapit pa si Ama dito. But looking at the Dragon Lane side, that will be the piercing arrow coming through. Focus on farming muna. Si Oshiro will try to get the damage from the feathers from Rakan, but wala pang full commitment. I thought Vi was gonna visit the lane, but it's time to go with the reset, get more items, and wait for the first major objective to spawn, and maybe doon lang sila lalaban. Ayun yung locket, ang unang item dito for the side of Nami. Extra shield, more sustain, and more help sa kanyang team.
That's to help against the burst damage here from aggressive and Draken possibly, right? So no, that's one thing that they're gonna be picking up the Infernal Drake. Let's see. Sino ang lamang dito with the Ryomu's Ghostblade on Draken. This is gonna be very very scary. PUP has reached the power spikes for their first items on their main damage dealers, which is Draken turn and aggressive. Meanwhile, PUP, kailangan pa nila mag-recall dito. Right? Apa Ama will only get his first legendary once he goes for the recall, and PUP is using this as a chance to leverage power on the Infernal Drake. So this is just gonna be a handshake trade. Okay, get the Drake, you get the Rift Herald. It's gonna be an even Steven trade for both of us. But we're gonna go for the turret. We have a wave, big wave mounting top, tas meron pa kaming pang clear ng wave nyo. Meanwhile, you have no one on Dragon Lane, so PUP's movement's very, very smooth.
Yeah, this will be the first blood turret going over to Cerberus. And even if TUP does try to go with the trade, well, yeah, I think they will be able to do so. At the very least, yung Herald already gone. So, makakuha pa ito ng pangalawa ang Cerberus dito before they try to go to a different lane. And now you have Gaga trying to defend ang last outer turret at the Dragon Lane side. Whereas Kuya Fall is just minding his own business sa mid lane dito. There's a small ward na pinlace na Cerberus dyan. To see the jungle pathing for Bitter End, and that will be them just trying to clear out the wave at the barrel lane side and maybe try to catch someone off guard. May ward sa side ng TUP Gearhawk sa Rift Herald pit though, but aggressive. Just being very quiet, sneaky, nine-tailed fox. There will be a con at the bush side, but no commitments from both teams. Handshake
And
na
like,
lang muna.
hindi naman nila kailangan agad-agad na kumuha ng fight dito. Pero at this point, TUP nakapag-catch up na yan sa items at this point. Well, not fully. There's like a 2k gold deficit. But the most important thing is like the big completed item, like the legendary items coming in. So the other components, parang marginal benefits na lang yun right now for PUP. Right now, I think they're just gonna gather around, maybe make a play here for mid lane turret. That seems to be what they're going for. Constantly shoving that in. They have to be wary though, aggressive, having to get away with the Spirit Rush here. Gets the charm onto Messek. Maybe go back in now that Ezio and the gang are back here. But I think by pushing out Messek, they actually have an opportunity to go for mid lane here. The wave clear from the piercing shot is gonna be good but not optimal, so they can possibly take a few here from this turret given a little bit of time. That's gonna be a crucial chains of corruption there, catching aggressive without her Spirit Rush. And that is going to be one kill. Repels the offense here from PUP. Meanwhile, they might trade top turret, but Bitter End, seeing if he can make a play here against Ezio, no, does not want to pull the trigger. They want to save their top lane here. Pushes out Kuya Ball at that point. And I think it's going to be them backing off here. Ezio here still looking though. Meron pa siyang ulti. He also has the Grand Entrance. So if Collagen slips up, it could be sashimi for dinner here for PUP.
Yep, exactly. And gusto ko lang sabihin na mainit ang mata ng Gearhawks dito kay Aggressive. They knew na wala nga ang Spirit Rush and one ultimate and in exchange for one kill, it's so worth
Nahuli
it.
Pa yun. And into the condemn, into the charm here means that Ezio still gotta be chasing. But with Aggressive pushing up with the wave, Messek's gonna need some backup real fast. And Collagen is swimming his way all the way there, Bitter End as well, but PUP, they're poised to take this turret. In comes the Vault Breaker as well. 2 hits onto Ezio. Grand Entrance through the Battle Dance to dodge the tidal wave. They're gonna immediately jump onto Thair, but Thair's just able to tumble his way out, dodges the bubble as well. Aggressive, going for the kill onto Messek as well with a Spirit Rush. Finally gets it. No kills just yet. And it's just gonna be backing off for both of our teams, but PUP was looking for that big fight in that top lane to get that turret.
I believe Aggressive's next item will be the Rabadons. Yeah, most likely Rabadons kasi dalawang needlessly large rod. That will just give her more AP power, more surprise damage, and bigay yung bato ng buff, no? Akala ko bibigay kay Aggressive. But yeah, Aggressive tried to go with the pick off there. Akala ko mamamatay siya doon. That was too close for comfort. The tidal wave na paghiwalay pa dito ang members ng Cerberus kanina. But they just move as a unit. They are of sound mind and of sound someday. Kaya there were no takedowns, there were no kills.
But here, 2 needlessly large rods. It's not a big... I mean, of course, it's a big pile of stats. But without the Rabadons, it's not going to be as good here on this Mountain Break fight. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit delayed. The charm is going to miss. The problem here for TUP, TUP is keeping their momentum here. They're good splitting with the explosive cast there. That's going to be Kuya split out from the rest of his team there, arriving a little bit too late to the party, unable to influence the outcome of that. Aggressive taking a crucial piercing arrow there. That means that her margin of error is smaller because he has half HP. Trying to run away with the flash. Oh, no flash just yet, but with a Spirit Rush, forcing the flash out of TUP Gearhawks. But I think this is going to be a secured break for TUP. It seems like TUP wants to go for the turret instead. Aggressive though, having back off. Wala siyang Spirit Rush dito. Battle Dance to keep her back. In comes the Vault Breaker being charged up. 2 for 1. And ginawa dito, pero he's still gonna be able to survive unless mahuli siya dun in Messek with that one last dot at that point. So that is gonna be 2 kills here for TUP plus control over this Rift Herald.
Unless they die, and yung nga nangyari kanina kay Aggressive at the mid lane, give space for Gearhawks to get their hands on this Rift Herald, and I guess I was just a bit of an overstay for Cerberus. They tried their best para makuha ang first outer mid-lane turret, but it just gave time for Gearhawks to catch up on them while they were trying to get the objective. So, Cerberus, they're just waiting for Stir to have so much damage. For now, nasasalo pa naman ni aggressive yung damage, as well as si Kuya Fall dito. Jigen with the jump ins, with the kick, still very much on point. But Gearhawks, their team fight and their layering of CC just really leveled up from game number 1.
And they're showing why Bitter End's buy has been a popular pick, ban worthy, and that's why he's been using that like 3 times now, including this game in this playoff. So the Vault Breaker hitting multiple targets there, very, very big. Just gets the stacks of the dents there, of the denting armor there. So PUP, you have to be careful not to get caught by that Vault Breaker.
Still waiting. Maybe Pauljen will try to catch someone with the bubble. But remember, mag-isa si Riven doon sa taas. Pings are coming through. Sinasabi nila, babalik ka na dyan. Or maybe, huy, puntahan nyo naman si Riven kasi baka mapush na ang turret natin dito. 11-minute mark. The kill count is in favor of Gearhawks, but there is a roughly 700, 800 gold lead in favor of Cerberus, which can balloon later in the next team fight once the next batch of objectives is already up. Or unless may ma-charm dito si aggressive, or kung may ma-condemn man si Thur later on. I'm still waiting for a good duel by Misek against maybe Jiken, or maybe even Kuya Fall dito. But for now, it will just be the 2 teams not jumping much, not committing too much, because they just still want to play it safely.
For sure. And so far, PUP, once again, they're very patient. They're trying to find openings where they can possibly get a big advantage. But TUP Gearhawks has been playing this very solidly. So in the end, it is going to be a full-on kill here. A turret trade, most likely. Possibly going all the way. With the Rept Herald, this is going to favor TUP a little bit. So forces the recalls from TUP. And now, Kuefall trying to hold the fort here against this squad. But I think with the help of the Rift Herald, it's going to be a full-on inner turret push. Okay, aggressive without the Spirit Rush. Can't really go for the Varus right there. So in the end, I think our next big objective is going to be the Drakes here. Perhaps the Baron, but I think the Drake's a more pressing matter right now unless a big opening presents itself for Baron.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a dragon fight later on. Rabadon already being picked up by aggressive, and the Wit's End plus the Bleed of the Rain King available na din for Thur. They are good to go. Riven also managed to get his hands on the Black Cleaver and the Slurry Charge Blade. They have their main items already in check, and the ban is already up. It looks like Cerberus, they want to give it a go. Bubble not
Yeah, they really want this turret as well.
Still the
Mesa
fight.
dealing a lot of damage. Flash is over from Bitter End. Mukhang naghanap talaga siya dun, pero nakatakas na yung PUP. So that's a small gold injection for PUP. The 2k gold lead is very, very small at 13 minutes. It's really going to be the difference of what like a long sword or flashing wand here. So nice charm there from aggressive. Sets up the knockup, but there's not enough follow-up here. But Bitter End goes for the cease and desist or the assault and battery right there. And it does seem like Etsu's going to try and go in with a quickness as well. So a lot of big ultimates being burnt here. Kuyafall and Thur still have theirs, but they're not really game-changing ultimates as well. Could go for Etsu with a nice 2-man knockup, but there's not enough follow-up, not enough damage yet from Thur to be able to finish off those kills. So this is still a very, very big potential issue here for PUP, not able to finish off the fight just yet. Mesek taking a lot of damage there, but they do take down aggressive finally, and next on the chopping block is Kuyafall. Bracken is going to be looking for an execute, but GA means that Bitter End has that insurance, and once again, gold evened out, but the Baron call, once again, unless there's a big opening, the Baron won't be a thing, but here, with 3 members down, PUP is going to have to give this Baron.
You will have to give this Baron hindi teleport being picked up by Jaken, but they were too busy to shove yung blade sa baba with that lanabas ng outer turn. Unless someone gets the steal.
Okay, never mind.
Akala ko.
Konting kirot lang sa akala ko papasok na si Thur. He had flash, he had exhaust, but he didn't have ulti, so I guess that was not going to be happening from the start. That was just so they get an early position dito sa Drake, but they can't really start it right now because they're being pressured by wave top side, and TUP can of course definitely disrupt that. So at this point, PUP Hindi pa natin nahanap yung malaking power spike ni Third dito kasi 0-0 and 2 lang siya. He hasn't found his next legendary item. For now, gonna come over as well. Aggressive, taking a lot of damage. Dodges the tidal wave. I think that would have killed actually. The tidal wave would have killed him ever. And with this Ocean Drake in the hands of Gearhawks, mas mahihirapan yung PUP na tapusin yung laban dito, laban against TUP Gearhawks in these team fights. They have to find a pick-off.
More Stilvam and more scaling on their side, and I have to say, this Varus is enjoying the game number 2. Like, he's well protected, hindi siya maabot most of the time, and with aggressive being kept at bay, he will not have to worry about the charms or any orbs na baka humampas sa pagmumukha niya. Now, Gearhawks was able to even out yung minion wave as well. There's a fresh wave up sa ating Baron, and they want to pick a fight with this Garen. Pero mukhang third muna before they get a kill on the next champion.
Well, ayaw nila mag-pull ng trigger ng 4v5 dun. So I guess they don't have enough intel in their own zone to even understand. They have to protect the turrets. Turrets are going down. PUB's movements have been slow on uptake in this game so far. Playing on the back foot, TUP Gearhawks is the one pressuring them. And look at that Ushiro, the poke damage is way too much. This Elder Cloud is something that PUP cannot give up. They have to fight for it. But the question is, does Thur have the power spike? He has the Bork, he has the Solari charge lane at the wit's end. Should, in theory, be able to carry from this point onward. But it's so hard kasi laging siyang hinahanap ni Bitter End with his ultimate.
Feel like, and magiging problem din kasi if ever the Chain of Corruption will land on him or if the cask finds its way sa kanya. Actually, lahat pala, each champion sa side ng Gearhawks can just use one skill, not one ultimate, para lang mahuli si Third dito. And yes, Vayne does have Tumble, but still, it's a lot of bombs in that minefield. Kaya siguro nahihirapan din siyang gumalaw dito. But for the goal league, it's still roughly a 1k 900 in favor of Gearhawks. There will be a death rush being set up by both teams, so I don't think anyone's gonna be surprised here. Intayan lang.
Intel dun yung TUP, so they're actually PUP is gonna have to skill check these rushes as well. Wag lang mag-face check. Yung mag-face check siguro dapat dito si Kuya Fall, but even then wag yun ang gawin. It's nice ward. And let's see. That's gonna be the Assault and Battery onto the Rakan here, but immediate battle dance here with the knockup. Nice explosive cast to split the party. And that is going to be Ezio coming in with the quickness. In comes the Dimash and Justice to finish off that Collagen as well. Mesek though falling apart, getting taken down. That's gonna be aggressive, picking up the kill against Apa Ama. And now Ushiro is on the run here with Baron being up in 10 seconds. This is gonna be hard. PUP has an opening. Draken just has to back off now, reset, get his HP back up, and maybe they can go make a Baron play while 30 seconds wala pa si Mesek at si Collagen.
But before they do something scary, kunin mo natin ang ADC.
God, si Ushiro!
May GA siya, but
Ushiro, ginebait. Hook, line, and sinker. They baited it. Oh, but they even had the Scuttle Shrine. Kung dapat alam na yun ni Ushiro na sa Scuttle Shrine hindi niya nakikita yung dalawa, si aggressive siya si Ezio, so dapat in-expect niya baka hintayin siya dun sa blue buff. So once again, 30-second death timer. I don't think that's enough to go for a big objective before Ushiro goes back online, but that's a Baron buff on PUP side. And Elder Cloud coming up in half a minute. So talagang sineset up na dito ni Kuya Fall yung wave dito sa Baron lane side para pagdating ng Cloud Drake, may pressure sila dun sa Baron lane side.
With that team fight in, with that objective take, the gold lead is now in favor of Severus. They have a 4k gold lead this time around. And mukhang they are constantly on the honey with a charm. But ito meron nga!
Yeah, that's actually gonna put Mesek, keep Mesek out of the fight. Because Mesek does not want to go in with half an HP bar, so he has to go for the recall, which means PUP has a few seconds of breathing room to decide what they're gonna do next. Looks like they're gonna pivot all the way to bot lane, try to get the wave there. Okay, steal the red buff, bonus na rin yan. Go for the Cloud and Elder as well. And mukhang si Draken tsaka si Thur lang yung kailangan dito. Look at that.
So
Very,
ano,
very fast, Elder Tay.
so quick. Ang sakit. They
Oh
need
my
a jungler
lord.
and ADC pero no, the charm ulit. Here's a fight.
Yeah, and that's gonna be bitter end here. Getting charmed as well. Lots of AoE damage coming in from aggressive as well. Tidal Wave to try and stop the fight, but in comes Ezio. Mahuhuli na nila si Apa Ama. 50 seconds on the death timer from downtown. The Demacia Justice on domestic. Nakapagaling sa grand entrance, and Kuya Paul just spinning to win. He's being chillined out there in the Nexus, and that's gonna be a full ace coming in from PUP. No, they're gonna have to backdoor, or actually no, just go for the top lane, go for the Baron lane. 40 seconds on the death time. They have
They
all the
have
time in the
time.
world, and this is gonna be a 2-0 in favor of PUP. Cerberus Ultimate, the gatekeepers of hell. Cerberus have kept Gearhawks from taking flight into their territory, and this is gonna be our finalist the way I predicted it. Maybe my prediction at FIT didn't pan out the way it was supposed to, but we're gonna get a PUP versus HOW finals. That is what I wanted to see, but very good fight there. There are a lot of times na TUP was able to make Cerberus sweat a little bit.
Yes. And it just took them one quick, well, it wasn't super quick, but it took them one team fight. And pansin ko doon sa late game, aggressive would try and commit yung charm niya either sa ADC or kay Vi just to stop anyone from trying to pin down Thur, try to pin down even yung Lee Sin nila. And that the fact that they were able to get Baron and then still make things happen, rotate or shift. And gusto ko yung highlight yung this specific fight. It was a bit
Oof,
of an oof for
madumi.
Lucio. Yeah, it had GA, but of course, napapop din yan. Vi, as much as she would want to help, they knew it was a lost cause. So ADC down, Baron already down, and that was when the spotlight just pivoted back sa side ng Cerberus.
Gusto ko yung play dun eh, kasi kailangan lang naman nila dun sa Elder Drake. Si Draken tsaka yung Vayne, of course, na may Bork.
Sitter.
So sobrang
Yes.
bilis. So during that time, syempre magfe-face check yung TUP. Akalahin ng TUP na lahat ng PUP, or at least members na hindi si Kuya Paul, are helping with the Elder Cloud. But there, very nice. They chunked down immediately yung PUP. So saktong-sakto pagkatapos ng Elder Cloud, pwede na silang mag-regroup doon, tapos habulin yung TUP. And at that point, PUP, very good flourish. They stayed patient, right? And this is what I like about PUP. They're aggressive. They want to go in, but they know when to do it, right? A lot of times here, they were punished. TUP was able to punish them very, very well. Well played by TUP. But in the end, PUP got done it, the last laugh. They got the last maneuver, the last stratagem that got them the win.
They did. And ito na po ang ating updated brackets, How versus How Valiant Esports and PUP Pylon Cerberus for our grand finals. Whoever wins this will be the champions for our season 3. Just as Hiron predicted. Baka naman isang skin lang dyan, no? Kasi malinis yung predictions mo. But yeah, that was a beautiful way
Yun
to
naman
end
malinis.
the
Mali
day.
ako sa FIT eh.
May isa
Pero,
lang, may isa lang.
yeah, pero yeah, it's gonna be How versus defending champions before against a team that went all the way from Division B to the top of their group, all the way to the finals. This is a wonderful story. It could have, yeah, right. So I'm super excited for how this the finals on December 5 is gonna go down, right? So Gearhawks, they played a good game. They were able to make the Cerberus squad sweat a lot, but in the end, Cerberus was able to handle the heat and bring out the game 2 win, 2-0, going on to the finals here, right? So any last thoughts, Yuko, before we end our broadcast for today?
Yeah, grabe yung mga teams natin. Galit na galit. We
Oh,
really want to go with Wild
mm,
Rift. And I love the Cinderella run for some of the teams. One of them was able to survive
oh,
until the grand finals. So now, that will be it for today. But
mm.
not tomorrow. Next week, guys. Meron
Next
pa
week, oh,
uling. Masyado ko excited eh. Gusto ko na makita yung
oh,
grand finals. But yeah, we still have
mm.
something for next
Time
week.
travel ka na
And
lang,
that
you.
is it.
Yeah, and of course, we just like to thank some of our sponsors as well. Globe Telecom, our official telco sponsor, Logitech G, our official gaming gear partner. So if you want to supercharge your gaming setup so you can hashtag keep playing, check out logitech.acadarena.com now. And of course, Twitch Student, our platform partner. Hindi lang naman kami sa FB nagla-live dito. We're also live on Twitch at twitch.tv/AcadArenaPH. If you have siblings, cousins, or friends who are gamers and are at sincere high school or college, they could apply to scholarship grants for acadarena.com/scholarships and get a chance to be a hashtag AcadArena Scholar. And of course, yung star naman ng show natin dito, aside from the players, or yung organizations na pinanggagalingan nila. Like Pylon Esports for PUP, for Gearhawks from TUP, and all the other big orgs like Population Esports, LG from ADMU, and of course UST Teletigers. They're part of our Alliance program. So Alliance member clubs get access to exclusive tournaments, mentorship, event support, and of course yung Globe Esports Merit Scholarship namin. Learn how to join the Alliance. Build up yung infrastructure ng org nyo today at acadarena.com/alliance. Follow us on TikTok as well at Acad Arena. And yung first 1,000 followers namin, may chance sa ating mag-weekly giveaways. Check nyo lang yung mechanics sa ating page at sa TikTok page namin. So of course, thank you guys as well for sticking with these quarters and semifinals. Thank you, Yuko, and thank you, Gian Gaming, as well. And we'll be signing off for today. See you next week for the grand finals.